been a while since I've done this. Hi friends, welcome back to Disabled in Nature, where we talk about all things that are disabled in nature, and sometimes we might even go outside. My name is Marissa, and I am disabled, and it has been so long since I have done that intro. Like I said on the last video that I posted here, I figured that it was gonna be a while before I posted again, but it's been like 2 months, sorry? For me, it is December 30th, 2024. I'm in that weird week between Christmas and New Year's where like no one has work, no one knows what day it is, no one knows what time it is, and it's just given me some time to reflect back on my year and think about what I want to happen for next year. I've been thinking about my New Year's resolutions, and I thought it might be fun to do a little sit down where I talk about how my 2024 went and what I want to see from 2025. A bit of a year-end review plus New Year's resolution type vibe here today. Oh, but first, before I do that, before we start, I need to show you something. This year, my husband and I made each other Christmas gifts, and I wanted to show you what he made me. This is a 3D printed dark-eyed junco, which is my favorite wintertime bird here in Michigan. Look at this, isn't he cute? He 3D printed him and then painted him himself. Look, isn't that nice? How do I hide my face? Da, da, da. Staring deep into your soul, this bird. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this because I absolutely love it, and when he gave it to me, I screamed, and they're gonna be living on this shelf behind me for I don't know how long. I need to be careful because the legs are really fragile, but I thought he was super cute. What do you think I should name it? Let me know. Ooh. Okay, back to New Year's resolutions. We'll start with how my 2024 went. My 2024 was a roller coaster, mostly with work. Like I've mentioned a lot of times, I started a new job this year, but it was only like 6 months ago. So like at the beginning of this year, I had a job that I certainly was not fulfilled in. I felt like I wasn't making the kind of difference that I wanted to be making in the world. I didn't feel like my talents or skills were being utilized in the way that they could have been. And I just felt really stagnated. And then that job was a year-long contract that ended in the beginning of March. And so I was unemployed then for a little while. And then I started my new job in the end of June. The work that I'm doing now is like direct advocacy work for people with disabilities. And I talked about it in my video at the end of Disability Employment Awareness Month. So if you want like my whole gushing about my new job, you can watch that video about my employment journey and changing career fields and stuff like that. And so to have gone from the beginning of this year feeling stuck and stagnated and not really feeling good about what I was doing to being where I am at here now at the end of the year. I've been off work for the past week for the holiday. Today is Monday. Like I said, I don't know what day it is. And so yesterday was Sunday night, and you know how people get like the Sunday scaries and where like they don't want to go back to work the next day? After having been off work for a week, I was like, you know, if I had to go back to work tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, oh yeah, I could go back to work tomorrow and that would be fine. So career-wise, my 2024 was a bit of a whirlwind, but I could not be happier of where I ended up. 2024 was also one of the most life-changing years for me to date because I got my wheelchair accessible van. I made a whole series about how I got the van. I did a van tour. So you want to know all about the van, go watch the wheelchair van saga. It's great. I'll put the playlist here. The battle to get my van was so long and honestly treacherous, and it's not over. It's not over. You think it's over, but it's not. There will be one more installment on the van wheelchair van saga experience coming at some point in 2025. I don't know. There's some stuff in the works. It involves going to court. So stay tuned for that if you want all the juicy drama of what I've gotten myself into with that one. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna turn out good. And that's all I'll say. I'm getting ahead of myself. It has been so life-changing in like the most mundane way. And I mean that in like the best way possible. I can do things now without a second thought that would have caused me so much anxiety and stress and pain before I got my van. Things like getting gas, popping in and out of the grocery store, going out for a day on the town with friends where we like drive between multiple different places, going to work at my office. There are so many things that I can just do now without thinking about it. And sometimes I have to pause and I have to remind myself where I was a year ago, frustrated and in despair. And so one of the things when I was starting to get the van that I kept pushing for, so I applied to like start to do the vocational rehabilitation process to start like trying to get support for my van in the beginning of May of 2022. And at the time I was like, okay, I'm doing this 6 months ahead of when the snow will come. I'll have it by winter. Things will be great. I won't have to stand up to load my travel chair in and out of my car, which among being painful and difficult was dangerous, especially in the snow when I could easily slip and fall walking back and forth to my driver's seat or standing there unloading it, etc. So for 2 winters, because the van process took 2 years, I was frustrated and sad and canceling plans and simply just devastated because the winter weather was preventing me from living my best and fullest life. And the other day, I was leaving work, and unbeknownst to me, it had started to snow, sleet. It was really gross, Michigan in December. And I walked out of the front door, I hit the button to open my ramp, and I was in my van before the automatic door to my building even closed. And it was, I stopped myself in that moment because it was so surreal. Like if I hadn't have had my van, I would have had to worried about falling down in the parking lot. I would have been so wet and cold and covered in snow by the time I eventually, assuming I didn't fall down and hurt myself, get into my driver's seat to drive home. Getting my van has been the most life-changing thing that I potentially have ever experienced. It has given me freedoms that I've never had. By the time I started driving, I was already losing my mobility. So just like stopping by the store to run in, pick something up, and then go home, even when I was 16 and I first got my license in my first car, like that wasn't something I would have done because at that point, like I was still having difficulties walking. Like I probably should have had a wheelchair for long distances back then. I just, it's a whole other thing. I'm experiencing a freedom that I've never had. And I cannot describe it. I cannot describe it to you. It's unreal. And I am so happy. For that reason alone, 2024, one of the best years on record for me. Incredible. I found an amazing job. That's all I need. That's all I need. It was great. It was great. So these positive reflections are great, but I also like to reflect on what didn't go like I wanted it to this year. And for me, I gave myself space when I got this new job to like really focus on it and lean into it. And one of the things that went by the wayside when I did that was social media, was YouTube. I really feel like I fell out of doing this in 2024, and that is sad to me. I really like doing this. I really like the editing process. I think it's fun and it's creative, and that's gonna roll into my New Year's resolutions. But for good reason, I didn't create here as much as I wanted to in 2024. And that's something that I hope to change in 2025. Okay, time for the fun part, New Year's resolutions. I know that a lot of people are like, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions because people don't stick with them and they just put pressure on you to like change yourself, yada yada. I guess I kind of subscribe to that. I think if you're like a list, like a goal person, and you want to write out like a list of goals, that's great. You do you. But I heard something a few years ago that I really liked and that I do, and it's that instead of like specific resolutions, people pick a theme or a couple of themes or mantras that they want to keep in mind for the new year. And I really like that. So for me, I've decided that for 2025, I want my main themes to be creativity and joy. Like I said, I really enjoy doing this. YouTube and social media. I think it's a really great creative outlet for me. And so this year, I really want to focus on making videos that are creative and that bring me joy. In the past, this channel has been a mix. It's been a mix of like vloggy type adventure videos, these kind of talking head videos. I've done some like know your rights type videos. I think I made a lot of those after I really started like getting into disability advocacy professionally. There is one thing I noticed with those kinds of videos specifically this year is that they didn't bring me as much joy as I wanted them to. Like the information is good and the information needs to get out there, but this is a hobby for me. Like I don't make money off this. Like this is just because I enjoy doing it. I was learning all these cool new things and laws, rules and regulations and rights at my job, and I was like, the people need to know. The people need to know. And so I made a bunch of videos about them, especially during Disability Employment Awareness Month. I had like this whole plan to do a video a day with short form content to like tell everybody everything that I knew. That didn't end up happening. I posted a lot more things during that month, but it wasn't nearly as much as I had planned. And I think it was because when I had like these grand plans of doing it, and then when I actually went to go execute, I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired because I do this all day at my real job, which I love, and then to then have it bleed over then also into this, which is my hobby. It was just a lot. I think you're still gonna see videos like that from me in 2025. They're just gonna be like, I'm gonna be intentional about them, and I'm really gonna think about the topic before I do it. And the question I'm gonna have to ask myself is like, do I actually need to make a video about this? Do I actually want to make a video about this? Or is it like a compulsion that I have to like tell other people what I know? And like in the end, the video is not actually gonna bring me joy. It's just gonna burn me out more. You know what I mean? I want this to fill my cup rather than deplete it more. So I'm gonna focus on videos that are creative and bring joy. I don't know about you, but this last few months, and that's another reason why I haven't made videos on here for a while, is that these last few months have been really emotionally draining. There might have been a particular event in early November 2024 that occurred here in the United States, wink wink, nudge nudge, that was a little much. It was a little much. And I think it's going to continue to be a little much, if I'm being honest with you. So I've really been loving seeing creators who are posting videos that make me laugh and that bring me joy and that are lighthearted. And there's so much heavy in the world right now, and like it needs to be talked about. It does. And I think for a while I was struggling between like me talking about it online because I think it's important. That's like where I was being pulled to, but it weighs on my heart. I don't think that's the direction that I want this channel to go down. I think about the videos that I make that are lighthearted and bring people joy, and like that brings me joy. And I think I want to focus on that maybe a little bit more than the heavy stuff. I'm still gonna do videos that are like about heavy things, like if it's in regards to me, right? Like I've covered some heavier topics from my past about like, you know, the summer that I lost the ability to run, my traumatic Disney World experience, things like that. I'm still gonna share things like that because I feel like I have more thoughts on that. But in general, I think I wanna mix in some more creative videos. Let me know what you think would be fun and would bring you joy, and maybe I'll make a video about it, because that's what we're gonna focus on in 2025 is creativity enjoy. I also want to pursue like some other creative endeavors. Like I got a bird, like a watercolor bird book and some watercolor paints for Christmas, and I'm really excited to just like zone out and maybe dabble in some painting. Maybe if they're good, I'll show you. Maybe if they're not good, I'll show you. Like I said, I think that this is gonna be a really heavy year for a variety of reasons. The work that I do at my job can get really heavy. The world is burning. For me personally, I want to focus on intentionally finding joy where I can. Definitely want to do some more birding. My husband and I just like had some time to kill while we were in town visiting family a few weeks ago, and we just went and we parked on the water somewhere, and we went birding randomly for an hour because I keep my binoculars in my car because you never know when you're gonna need them. And it brought me so much joy. Like I was still happy about that 1 hour that we spent birding for like a week after we did it. And I'm just like, wow, I love this activity so much. Like I need to do more of it. I need to be more intentional about, and we weren't even really outside. We were just sitting in my car, looking at birds, identifying. I saw some birds I'd never seen before. It was great. Long-tailed ducks. Have you ever seen those? They're really pretty. And there were so many of them. It was great. I loved it. I want to be more intentional about doing little birding excursions this year, being more intentional about getting outside, like even when I feel like it's got to be on par with like working out, is like sometimes you're just, especially when it's cold, like it's nice today. It's sunny today, but this is the first time that we've had sun in a very long time, and winter's just getting started. So like you don't always want to go out. You want to sit on the couch and you want to wallow in the warm heated blanket and just not do anything. But I do find that after I get outside, even if it's for like 20 minutes, I feel better. And this channel is called the In Nature Part. We're gonna do the In Nature Part some more. I don't know if I'll film it. If I think that would be fun, I will. If that would bring me joy, I'll film it. Okay, well, I think I've yapped long enough for this video. It was great talking with all of you. Again, I've missed this. I expect more videos like this from me this year. I definitely don't think I'm gonna be able to go back to doing once a week, but I think every other week seems reasonable. I wanna be consistent about it because, like I said, this does bring me joy, and I do find this to be a worthwhile creative pursuit, and those are my themes, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick myself to it. Let me know if there's any like topics or fun things that I could go do that you want me to take you along with me. If there's any series that you would like to see, either long form, short form content, I'd love to just get creative in 2025 and see what we can do. This feels like it's gonna be an amorphous year. Can't wait. All right, well, until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to get outside, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy New Year. Bye.